Hello children, I hope that you are very well today. So I'm so pleased to have this chance to chat to you again while the teachers are taking a little break. So today we're going to start a new series called Joshua, Son of Nun. And we'll be learning about God and his dealings with the people of Israel through their leader Joshua, and we'll be studying the book of Joshua in the Bible. Our question today is, what did God say to Joshua? So I hope that you remember that the Israelites were slaves in Egypt, and God raised up Moses and delivered them from Egypt. They left Egypt, and God took them safely through the Red Sea and defeated all the Egyptian enemies. God gave them the 10 Commandments at Mount Sinai, and even though they often disobeyed God, He was faithful to his people and kept on leading them and looking after them. You remember that 10 of the spies said that it was too dangerous for them to cross into the land of Canaan, and only Joshua and Caleb said that God would keep them safe. God was very angry with the people because they did not trust him, and so he made them continue their journey in the desert for 40 years, until all the adults who had not trusted God had died and the children had grown up. We remember that Moses had gone up into the mountain and that he had seen the promised land and that he had died on the mountain and gone to be with God. Of the adults, only Joshua and Caleb were still alive because they had trusted God. But the people were not left without a leader. Moses had told the people that Joshua would be their new leader. So in the book of Joshua, in chapter 1, we can read what God said to Joshua. God said some really amazing things, and I think we should read them before we find out what happened next. So in verse 2 we read that God said to Joshua, "Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, you and all this people, into the land that I am giving to them, to the people of Israel." And then God says this, we can read this in verse 5, "Just as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not leave you or forsake you." Wow, so here we can see that God told Joshua and all the people to cross over the Jordan River and to go into the land of Canaan, the land God had been promising for nearly 500 years, ever since he spoke to Abraham. And God told Joshua that he would never leave him. So Joshua decided to send some spies into the land. Now you remember when Moses sent spies into the land, they came back very frightened. So let's see what happens when Joshua sends spies into the land. So Joshua sent 2 spies, and they came to the city of Jericho. But the king of Jericho heard that the spies were in the land, and he wanted to capture the spies. Oh dear, this does not sound good, right? Well, hold tight, and next week I will tell you the rest of this story. So our question today is, what did God say to Joshua? And the answer is, God told Joshua to enter the promised land and that he would never leave Joshua. This week, why don't you read Joshua chapter 1? And when you pray, praise God for always doing what he says he will do. Do have a wonderful week. God bless. Bye.